All right, guys, it looks like we are live, but I think we're missing a microphone. Okay, I got the microphone. Got to get everything set up. So back in Berlin today, I have the standing desk. I'm super excited about the standing desk, but my left screen, my trading screen stopped working for some reason. I can't move over my charts there. It just doesn't register it. I'm not really sure. I got to tinker with some settings. I don't know what kind of settings changed on my trip, but something did. So I'm going to go ahead and try to fix that after this live stream, and then hopefully tomorrow we'll be ready to go. It won't really affect too much, but you can see we're trading on my laptop screen and everything's a little bit tighter. So I guess that's more of a downside for me, but hopefully, it doesn't take away from anything from you guys either. I think for you guys should be fine. So let's see what's going on our watch list. And also, good morning, everyone. Good morning, by the way. And hope everyone's excited for their Monday and the rest of the week. So yeah, let's get started. See what we're checking out here. There's a few things I'm looking at. So we pulled up a lot of stuff on our watch list today, and it was a little hard kind of figuring out, what are we going to want to trade? And I'll tell you guys why I made the decisions that I made for my watch list. But who knows? We might be switching it up on the actual trading day. We'll see what happens. First, I want to talk about APTO. Let me just make sure everything is still good setting wise. Yeah, APTO. So this is the first one on our watch list, and let me just pull up. So this one has a pretty nice market cap, 142 million, 55 million shares outstanding, and the float is 50 million. So about a 10% difference there. This thing's up about 35%, but it had a pretty decent pullback, although it is kind of holding its highs in this pre-breakout range, which is looking pretty good. These pullbacks are pretty aggressive, 12% and stuff like that. And it's pretty solid pullbacks, but again, it is holding above this kind of 3 zone, and a lot of buyers here on the downside doing a decent amount of trading pre-market. This one's up on news from a recent conference over the weekend. So this is weekend news kind of all piling in together. So this thing had plenty of time for people to really digest what was going on. And it's actually kind of interesting if you go, so there's a presentation with a lot of notes inside of it. Let me go ahead and share this a little bit, show you guys what it looks like. I haven't gone through the whole thing. It's quite large, 38 pages. I was just reading a little bit of it this morning, and it looks like they have, they're talking about a lot of recent, results from their studies, what they're finding out, what they're working on. This is 100% not my niche, and I don't know, it's a little overwhelming for me, but I think it's kind of interesting that, they publish something like this and anyone could look through it. And, depending if you agree or whatnot, it's a pretty cool thought that you can go ahead and invest in this company, depending on all that stuff. We are not really investing in small caps. We are simply just day trading it. So for us, it's a little different. But I just think it's, very cool to always see stuff like that in the real world. And that's we'll talk about this later, but SPCE, Richard Branson's space company, which just IPO'd not too long ago, it was all over the news, came up on our watch list scanner as well. So I think that's kind of cool. We're going to talk about that one in a little bit as well. But again, the space ones, their market cap is 1.4 billion, 200 shares float. It's not really something we want to be trading, but if we see a really big trade with it, we might do it if it's really, really nice, and we'll see. I don't know. Again, it's not our typical setup or typical what's on our watch list. What I like about APTO is the fact that it has no reverse splits. It's kind of generally near this kind of low area, and it kind of moves in a more rational way. So let's see what happens. Any sort of pullbacks or something like that could be really phenomenal entries on this one. Let's go ahead and identify some more support and resistance zones. And first off, I want to talk about this area, this 2.5. I think this is a pretty critical area. You've seen a lot of bounces off this area. You've seen reversals off this area out from here. Right here, you even saw a breakout from this area, pullbacks to this area. So this 2.5 area is very critical, I would say. And that, I think, doesn't really take a lot of effort to kind of understand that. Then you have kind of this lower 2 area. I guess you could say anywhere from 220 to $2 exactly. Let's just go ahead and mark that $2 zone. I think that's also really important. I don't think we're going to see it today. This stock's up on good news, but I think it's worth talking about. And then you have this kind of high of $3, $3.10, which seems kind of important as well. We can go kind of and mark that just quickly, and because that is a former high here at 315. And if you go here, you can see this is where one of the first breakout kind of pullbacks happened. So all these price zones kind of repeat themselves. Let's go ahead and just zoom in a little bit here. You can definitely go ahead and identify this 2.75 area is kind of important too. So I'm going to go ahead and just draw a short-term little trend line here, support and resistance zone, just to kind of map this area out as well. It's not perfectly straight, but you know what it's going to do. So right now we're under the $3, and like I said, remember at that 2.5, 2.75, there's a lot of key support. So I don't really think we're going to crash below that level. And if we have a dip, especially if there's a decent amount of volume on this one, a little flash crash, I think this could be a really nice purchase. I'm going to go ahead and put an alert here under, let's go below. And also, let's figure out which trading account we're going to be using today. So we're going to be using our IRA account first, and then we'll see how that one goes. Decent amount of trades in this one. So we would probably be trading with a position size of about $300. Hopefully you guys hear me all right. And my microphone's a little further away than I would want, but my setup is super weird right now. Maybe later today I'll videotape it for the recap video. 300 would be a little on the lower side, so let's go ahead and correct that just quickly so we are ready for any sort of trading this morning. Even that's a bit on the lower side. Okay, this is a little bit on the high side, but if we're getting closer to the 8, this could be still a somewhat fair entry. Let's just go ahead and fix that one last time down here at 450. Now 450 is about perfect for a possible entry. And then our other account, yeah, just roughly the same value. So let's see what happens with this one when the market opens. If the $2 kind of holds well, then I think that this could be kind of interesting to jump on it ahead of time. So if the $3, so let's say 290 holds very well, I wouldn't mind entering this trade. Let me just go ahead and mark this at 3, replace this one. Okay, we'll see if we dip below that. So the next one I want to talk about is OBSV. Now this one, this is let me quickly pull up. This one's a little crazier than the one we're looking at. So this one has 188 million market cap, but then the float here is 40 million, and the shares outstanding are about 44 million. So here you can see the shares outstanding, and the float based on FinViz is about 40 million. This one gapped up pretty aggressively, 60% gap up, but then it also pulled back very aggressively, about 30%. So big moves on this one, not really holding its highs as nice as APTO. It's another biotech, and it has positive news based on phase 3 study. And this is Monday morning news, so it hasn't really soaked in probably as long, but ultimately I think people should be pretty aware of it if they're interested in something like this. So high of 7.35, that's kind of crazy because that's all the way up here. So it completely filled this gap up area, and there was no really, this gap down was pretty aggressive. I haven't looked for dilution or anything like that yet, but I think that might be worth it on this one. Let's go ahead and quickly check that out, otcmarkets.com. I'm going to type OBSV. I'm just going to get this one ready because the market's going to open soon. I want to maybe check it out quickly, see what we can find. $6 key support zone. I would say this $8 zone is fairly important as well. Right now we're at $7.30. So something to take note around there at the 7.3 area was the high. So now we're back at $5. And which is right where the gap down really started. So opened its trading. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that as well. Pretty interesting moves this thing is making. So I think there's going to be big support here at the 4.5 $5 area. Let's see if we can kind of smack some sort of gap down on this one. Create alert. I'm going to go ahead and say below. Here's SpaceX with their nice little gap down. That happened a few days ago, and today they were back kind of at it. So here you can see the big gap down, probably some major support here at 8.55 or resistance. So let's quickly look at the chart a little bit at the $8 making its way up. I mean, this is a pretty nice gap up. It's just, it's not the typical share size that we're looking at, and you can see this thing move 10%, and a lot of these other companies that we're looking at are 30, 50, 60%, just because the float in the market cap is so much lower, so it needs a much less cash to make big moves. But that's why if SpaceX dips like crazy, then this could be a really nice buy. It is running right now too. It's clearly breaking out to the upside right now. Kind of cool to see that happening. Let's quickly check out the last one I want to talk about today. LMPX, very quickly here. This is probably the last one on our radar, although the dollar volume for it does look kind of good. So we're going to, keep track of it. So this one, 43 million market cap, like you guys can see down here, even though on TD Ameritrade it says 43 million market cap according to FinViz, 4 million float. And this is kind of what blows my mind a little bit, because here it says 47 million float, but on FinViz it's much less. So I'm not exactly sure why there's such a giant miscorrelation there. Even the shares outstanding. Oh, you know what? This is fine. So here, this is what I was looking at. So here you can see the 7.5 million float. I mean, shares outstanding, 4 million float. I don't know what I think I read that wrong. I have to honestly just rewatch that to see what I said. Anyway, 8 million float. So this one's this one's the smallest one we're looking at. So I wouldn't be surprised if this one really made some headway in big moves. 1 minute left till the market opens. So no real news here. This is just a recent IPO, and I think this thing could just go in all sorts of directions. Up 14%. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I'm not really too interested on this one, but it's kind of just generally interesting to keep an eye on it. See if we can learn anything about these IPO stocks. All right, guys, so that was the watch list. Let's see what happens today. APTO again and OBSV. I'm both looking on those for dip buys. We'll see where the dollar volume is. We got 36 seconds till the market opens. Good time to take a deep breath, relax a little bit, stretch. And always hit that like button if you have not done so already. 19 seconds. Eight seconds. Here we go. I'm going to put it on APTO for now. Ooh, that was a loud crack. Big green volume on this one. Let's see if we get another dip down. But big support here, 2.86. Not really sure if we'll see a gap down again. That's strong. OBSV doing interesting things as well. OBSV has the big dollar volume. It also has a smaller float, so I think I'm going to watch this one a little closer. Big sellers taking hold right off the bat. We would need a smaller position size on this one. Big resistance at the 313. This thing could break out to new highs. Still watching OBSV. It's breaking to the downside right now. APTO would have been the one to buy this morning, right with that morning pullback, right here near former support. That actually is quite an interesting move. Let's check out LMPX quickly. Wow, this one really ripped to the upside. This one has the smallest market cap, something to remember. First pullback right here. That's what you like to see. Big move to $9 already. I mean, this thing's crazy. This could be a really good dip buy. Make it 170. I like how this one has good dollar volume. It's moving. See if we can see any more on the tick. 7.25 could be big support. I'm going to go up to the 1 minute chart. That was quite the crash. Tiny float, guys. Remember, the float on this thing is really, really small. Let's see if we get another touch to the bottom. Make this chart down here 1 minute. I like the support we're seeing in here. Kind of an aggressive sell-off, but here we go, breaking back to the upside. I'm going to make this a 5 minute chart for now. Seeing some support coming in here. I did like this $7 area, but it was moving a little too quick. Wasn't really able to do any sort of position on that one. Right now, it looks to me like a little bit of a failed breakout, and I'm a little cautious on these because these failed breakouts like to have pretty strong pullbacks sometimes. Keeping an eye on APTO and ABSV, they're both kind of holding those areas right now. If those dip down a little further, I think both could be really nice buys. Let's see if we get a little bit further of a dip down here. Potential entry near the 4. This could be I'm looking for a break, a little break from this area. The float is really tiny on this stock. We already had 2 pullbacks. I'm not sure if we'll get a third one, but we'll see what happens. What I'm looking for is some sort of indicator that might be a reversal. We have the volume fading a little bit. We got the 1 minute pulling back right now. Looking for a longer term entry, and if we have a secondary break to the downside, I would probably like an entry around there. Still really nice dollar volume on this one. Nine minutes into the market open. Space had a pretty nice bounce so far. Really nice pullback here to 8.1. I actually probably, could see myself trading that one. I'm going to keep focused right now on LMPX though. Volume's fading a little bit. forming a little bit of a pennant pattern right now. Bear flag. Wouldn't be going long right now unless we really saw a continuous break back to the upside. I like this general support down here. A lot of sellers at the 70. Slowing down a little bit, a lot more than I was expecting. I think people are trying to figure out which way this price is going because right now it's a little stuck around this $6.9, $7 area. Seeing some small dips, but nothing too aggressive. Volume's really dying. OBSV is getting closer to where I would like an entry. Might have to check that one out in a little bit. Here we go. LMPX is breaking back to the upside. $7, still a lot of sellers. Finally broke by it though. Already a 7% bounce. Not as much movement with OBSV that I'd probably like to see. Getting a little 5-minute pop right here. I'm going to see if we can get some sort of late entry on this. I bought on the breakout back to the upside. So far the break is slower than I was expecting. Let's see what happens here. This could be a little reversal. See if we can get a double top here, maybe at 8.2. I also like the 5-minute that we're seeing down here. On the 5-minute, you see a lot of support at the 6.96. What I don't like is we're kind of below VWAP now. Would like this to break to the upside really soon, or else I think I'm going to get out. Big buyers at 93. We'll see what happens. Right now, we haven't moved yet. Sellers pushing down the momentum a little bit. We're at about a 18% pullback from the highs. Make that 21. Definitely found some support down here. Volume's fading a little bit. Would like to see this hold above the EMA and ideally break out really soon. Otherwise, I'll probably be getting out of this one. If we break 6.92, I don't want to be in that any longer. So if I see selling pressure at the 6.92, I would like to hop out of this one. What I like about this is there's been more buying than selling pressure. Volume has been fading to the downside as well. Then again, it is a failed breakout ultimately at this point. So I want to be extra cautious because people understand that this thing fell back after trying to make highs. I would really like to see it go above 7 with some strength really, really soon. If I start seeing this sell off, I'm going to be getting out it really quick. $20 minutes into the market open right now. Still occasionally looking at OBSV at the 4.8 area. It's always would have been our potential entry on that one. Morning, Sebastian. Well, I guess not morning for you and me. I'm in this trade right now at $6.99. I might be getting out of this one. Not really liking how it's a little slow right now. My watch is telling me I need to move Sellers coming in. Five minutes looking really nice. I like the 5-minute support zone. I generally like a lot of the stuff. I would say the biggest concern I have right now with this one is the fact that we had a failed breakout. We might be getting out of this trade right now. The sell-off was a little aggressive on this one. That's really the one thing that put me on edge a little bit. Let's see what happens. I hope the volume's good, you guys. Microphone's a little further away than usual. I'm closing out my trade on this one. I probably closed out early. I said though, I'll take that $12 loss. I said, if we see people starting to cut or sell into a 6.92 position, I'm going to be out of here. This thing's also rocketing in every direction, so I don't want to be part of that. Let's see. Who knows? Maybe I sold way too early. It hit $7 just now for a second. Big support still coming in. I'm gonna put an alert here, see if we dip below this area. This thing was moving in all directions, and then it really just kind of slowed down. I was really surprised to see that die the way it did. Move this back to the 5-minute, move this to the daily. We're seeing some dipping opportunities here. APTO is moving quite nice, but also a bit frozen at the moment. I still feel like maybe I got out of LMPX a little too quick. I'm going to be a little upset if it breaks above 7, but at the same time, I just stuck to what I felt was right. And Friday, we were super rewarded for just sticking to what we know, sticking to, getting out of any bad trades quickly and even getting out of the good trades the second we saw some profit. So I'd rather be a little bit more risk adverse, and that's how we're growing our account. So a lot of selling with OBSV, a lot of selling. If I was a little quicker with LMPX, I think we could have snagged one of those first trades right in the morning. But we kind of missed that one. Trading is 100% a sport. It's a good fun sport. 5%. LMPX. Let's quickly check it out, see what it's looking like. Could this be the break to the upside that we've been waiting for right now? Whew, I don't know. Getting some volume coming in. I don't really feel confident about it though. I would almost like now to see, I don't know what I'd like to see on that one. If we do enter that one, I would like to see a bigger crash. Otherwise, I probably won't be entering it. OBSV could be a really nice turnaround trade in about, oh, I don't know how long, but nice little sell-off. A lot of selling though, quite a bit of selling. Just check out this sell volume down here. The buy volume in the beginning wasn't really that strong. I think this thing could probably go down to $4 today. LMPX with a small break to the upside. I'm still not going to trade this one. Nice buying volume though. I mean, overall, this thing makes me feel a bit confident. Creeping up here. Buyers coming in. Really, really nice. Can we get move past the 13? Not really. Where are those sellers coming from? If we dip below move this up, just if we keep dipping below this key support area. OBSV, it's looking like a lot of potential good buys. Doesn't look really good for LMPX right now. It doesn't really look good for APTO. I mean, OBSV. Let's see what happens. This is a first pullback that we actually missed on APTO. That actually could have been a nice trade. You could probably argue that this was the first pullback, but you know, in any, or this could even be a first pullback. But what I'm looking at right here is break to the upside, pullback, secondary break to the upside right here. That's what I'm looking at. TGTX. Another one I probably should have been looking at. I really like how this thing's forming. I'm looking into getting a second screen so I can put 4 tickers on my other screen so I possibly won't be missing a move like this. I really like how this is looking. I'm gonna watch this one. I like that dollar volume on it a lot. It's a little bit bigger than our typical market cap though. APTO is looking pretty good. Looking really nice, actually. That first dip is the one I wanted, actually, but it happened way too quick. That would have been the time where our morning limit order would have actually worked pretty nice. So kind of missed that one. We'll see what happens. I'm still watching LMPX quite closely. This could be a really nice dip buy. I really like these fast crashes, especially if we even dip below $6. That could be a treat, but I don't think we're going to get such an aggressive dip, but who knows. We're 30 minutes into the market open. Usually at this point, things have found their bottom to some extent. Not fully throughout the day, but at least you'll see sometimes like nice little green to red move. I mean, red to green moves or something like that happening. Some secondary tops. I'll see if we can break out, create an alert to the upside on this one. If we do, I would probably like to buy some sort of pullback. LMPX trying to rip to the upside. Oh man, this one is just kind of painful for me to watch a little bit. I felt pretty confident, but at the same time, you know, I didn't want to be in that trade any longer at one point. So that's why we closed it. Felt a lot of risk. This could be a nice breakout balance. Nice amount of buying volume on this one. This thing really breaks past 3. It could keep running, so I'm going to keep a close eye on it. On the 5-minute, I really like the 305 kind of entry. This thing is moving a little bit slower. A lot of buyers sinking their teeth into this one. Ooh, here's that dip. We actually originally had an order here at 45, 49, or 39, was it? Big amount of sellers. We still have an order at APTO. Just gotta definitely not forget that. Support came in at 23, now 28. Big support. Bouncing already up 4%. Was hoping for a little bit bigger of a crash, to be honest. This thing's pulling back quite a lot, 22%, and since the dip, about 10, 11%. Just gonna see if we placed an order, if we would have any issues. We do, actually, we do have issues. That's because my APTO trade is still active. LMPX popping to the upside. Ah, man, you know, this one, I think we probably would have just been all over the place on this one. So I'm kind of happy we're just out of this trade. Probably be trading for another 21 minutes. Sometimes we do another hour of trading, but I'll do that not on the live stream. We'll see what happens. Looks like OBSV might run up a little bit, but if it does, I wouldn't be surprised if it shot down again right afterwards. It dipped past 310 would be pretty interesting for a potential entry. Those are really the two I'm looking at. I'm still occasionally looking at LMPX. But super shady. Secondary dip back to VWAP. Those are always very dangerous. Space isn't really moving. Although I probably would have felt the most comfortable somehow trading space. I don't know why. Probably because I'm a little biased towards the company. I think it's pretty cool. With these biotechs, you never really know what's going on. 317 looks like it's probably going to get broken through. Might have a breakout here. Try to buy this breakout. We missed this one twice. I was too slow. Waiting for too much action. Kind of a big amount of sellers coming in on that crack. If we left our order, we would have been entered, but I'm feeling a little uncomfortable for some reason. I don't know why. I think it was because we were a little close to the top end of the VWAP, which doesn't really mean much, but sometimes that'll put me on edge. See if we could buy this breakout. In case we get a flash pullback. I guess today is not my day. I'm trading very sloppy. I don't know why, but that's just how it is some days. SPC space is looking good. I might just wait for bigger pullback on OBSV. Been kind of watching it out of the corner of my eye this whole time. Good thing we got out of LMPX. This one's really not doing much of anything. We would have had that entry here on the 21. Really just not feeling super comfortable. I like the 5-minute chart a lot. Creeping up, big volume. I'm so happy we were at LMPX. That was just all over the place. Dollar volume on this one's a little drier than I would hope for. None of the selling is that strong though. New support coming in here. Here we go for that secondary rally. Not sure why I wasn't more aggressive, but again, I wasn't really feeling it. If this is a breakout, I might go ahead and enter and try to take profits near the 4, but that could be a clear double top. Could be a lot of pressure. I'd rather probably break out trade a breakout bounce past 3.4 and then a bounce back to it. This is a big move for this stock so far. And I feel like I would be buying pretty high at the moment. But, you know, just constant new buyers. Buying on that first pullback would have been probably the ticket on this one. Way less risk. Just kind of has my name written all over it, that potential trade. Here we go. There's the break higher. Ah, man, we just missed all of the trades on this one today, huh? Somehow I don't really regret it though. I want to see OBSV. I want to see it crack. Whoo! All right, there you have it, guys. Kind of called that break, but didn't take action on it, so that doesn't help anybody. Big volume coming in, loads of buyers. Quick look at the long-term chart. And we had a pretty clear breakout past 3. 3.2 kind of acts as that secondary top. I'm 3.4. I just don't really feel comfortable buying on this one. This is the one part about this strategy that I need to get more comfortable with since I've only been trading it for several weeks now, about 8 weeks. I'm not that aggressive as a breakout trader. So I think that's one of my biggest things that I need to get more comfortable with and kind of just take those entries when you know, they're my classic setups, like these big pullbacks. You know, that's usually what I look for. And typically I'll be right about those pullbacks and the breakouts. But then I miss it and then I don't want to chase it. So it's a little bit of a mind game. I also had that first loser today, but you know, we cut the losses on that one really quickly and the loss was not bad at all on it. About a 1%, less than 1%, I think it was. So if we can have a little bit of a pullback back to 25, I might feel a little bit more comfortable with buying this one. Let's see what happens. I'm also still looking at OBSV really closely. This thing's approaching potential turnaround area. I really wanted to see it crack closer to $4. Maybe even a little past $4 would be the best. How much did I start my $25,000 journey with? Originally 2.5 thousand, but then I wanted to allocate my accounts a little bit better. So then I moved it to 4,000. So the official start, I guess you could say, is with $4,000. And we've grown the account about 12%. maybe 13%. Mind you, though, with no leverage, we're doing no leverage on this challenge. So, you know, you could grow, let's say, $1,000 account much quicker if you use leverage, but that's, I guess, the biggest thing that I'm trying to avoid, mainly because just fees, and I'm not as comfortable with trading this strategy yet. Once I become more comfortable, maybe in the future, I would do like a really small challenge, but I don't know. We'll see. That's a whole different discussion. Finally seeing some big activity here. Today's a little slow overall, I know. But, you know, I'm not trying to make these live streams exciting for no reason. So if there's no trade, I'm just not going to trade. And that's just how it is. But if you guys do appreciate this live content, definitely go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I appreciate it. And definitely make it easier for other traders to find this content. Look at this sell-off this thing's been having. Just a big red day. Almost 12 straight red candles in a row. I'm keeping a close eye on APTO, see if there's a pullback on it. Getting close to that 1 hour of live trading now. We'll see what happens. I always like to catch my trades on live stream, and then I'm done with trading for the rest of the day. If I don't make any trades in the first hour of trading the market open, I like to kind of get away from the computer for a few minutes, kind of, you know, relax, and then see if there's a reversal trade, a turnaround trade, for maybe another hour. After that, I'll be done for the whole day, and I'll be making my recap video usually around 12, but last week they were all later, so there's no specific time I do my videos besides the morning one. I do appreciate you guys tuning in, though. It's good fun. Sometimes you guys have some really interesting feedback. I've learned a lot from you guys already. You know, OBSV does look like it might turn around here. It's kind of lost a lot of the selling pressure. It got close to this bottom again, but instantly had a reversal. Kind of seeing more reasons why to potentially go long. Let's see what happens. Let's see. We might have to go long on this one. You know what I should have been doing though on OBSV is looking about that dilution. So with 6K we have an effect order. Nothing really too interesting. When was their last 10K? These guys have some pretty all over the place filing. There's definitely some shady financing that happened on this one. More selling pressure on APTO. Man, I somehow played APTO completely wrong. I still genuinely like everything we're seeing on it. So we're having the first 5-minute pullback now. This could be a bit more aggressive of a pullback. Should be quite interesting. Keeping a close eye on OBSV. This is good fun. I would love to sink a good trade today, but you know, if we don't get one, we don't get one. But it was an all right morning watch list. Nothing reacted right away like I was hoping for. We had TGTX would have been the breaker today, but my eyes weren't on it somehow, and I missed that rally. Here we go again with we breaking past. Okay, see, again, I was not expecting that. Just keep missing this one. Yeah, we've basically just been watching it the whole time and not buying any of the pullbacks. I don't know why not. Any one of these pullbacks would have been phenomenal. Especially this last one, 4 or 5% already. All right. Woo, this thing is flying. A lot of big sellers coming in here at the 48. To be honest, I thought we were going to have maybe a 5-minute reversal back maybe to 3.27 or something like that. That's a little bit of what I was looking for. Didn't get that whatsoever. I'd probably be taking my profits already here if I entered at 3.33. I always take my profits a little too quickly, but it usually never hurts. It's rare when there's a big home run trade where you're like, oh, I should have just held. Usually you're like, whoa, I'm so happy I got out of that trade. Ooh, quick little dip down here. Watch out. This thing might be reversing. $38 could be a good buy. A little breakout bounce. Still wouldn't really, I don't know why I'm not feeling comfortable on any of those. I don't know why when I look at OBSV, I would feel more comfortable buying this one. LMPX just constantly selling off, so it was a good move that we didn't go long on this one. I'm pretty happy about that actually. Or, you know, we didn't blindly hold this one. Although we could have got out maybe for a split second here if we were quick enough, took 20 cents, 30 cents a share, maybe. I don't know. That would have been a really quick one, but who knows if we would have got that. All right, you know what I'm going to do, guys? I'm going to wrap this live stream up, and then I'm going to come out with the recap video. So maybe in the next hour, we're going to get a trade. I don't know, maybe, hopefully. If not, you'll know in the recap video. If so, you'll know in the recap video. So guys, if you want to see that video, definitely go ahead and subscribe and hit that bell icon too, so you will get a notification. I'm speaking to the wrong screen. You'll get a notification when that video comes out. So looking forward to that one. Unfortunately, no live trades yet. Well, actually, we had one trade today. It was about a 1% loss, so not a big deal. All right, guys, I will see you then later today. So till next time, or till then, ciao, ciao.